guys, welcome to our bar workout. We're going to start down on the mat today. Before we go down there, you will just need something that's about 1 kilo of weight, whether you've got weights at home or something else that's around the same heaviness. When you are ready, let's make our way down into a little 4-point kneel. We're just going to start with those hands straight underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, pulling up into our cat-cow pose. When you're ready, you can start to push that tummy down to mat. Head just looking out towards the bar. Perfect. Once we're taking these, just trying to feel that the spine is getting nice and warmed up. Ready for a bit more movement. We'll just take one more. Once you come through that neutral spine here, we're going to stay in our 4-point kneel. Maybe just shuffle a little away from your chair or your bar. And we're just going to start to bend down through your elbows, pulling our way into a bit of a tricep circle. From here, just start to push the head and weight forward over the hands, slowly coming back into that 4-point. We go down again, so bending elbows nice and narrow, pushing forward towards that chair, then slowly stacking to 4-point kneel. If we can, as we take this, let's breathe in through the nose as you bend those elbows down. Big exhale, push the body forward. Again, breathing in through nose, coming down, exhale, pushing through. We've got 2 more like this, trying to work that nose right against that mat. Coming back to 4-point, last one. Perfect. Once you're back in that 4-point kneel, you might like to stay here for our push-ups. Otherwise, we're going to bring our hands slightly forward. We can stay down on the knees if that's comfortable. You can go fully up onto the feet if that's okay. But we'll start with our knees today just by bending those elbows exactly where they were, going for that tricep circle, then little push up again. So nice and narrow with those elbows, framing the sides of the ribs. Let's inhale as we go down, exhale as we come up. Inhale down, exhale up. You can stay with that same pattern, otherwise we're going to go down for 3, for 2, for 1, push back up. Again, down for 3, for 2, for 1, push back up. Last one, 3, 2, 1, pushing up. Let's sink back into a little child's pose, stretch out those triceps. They're going to get a workout today. Yeah. All right, when you're ready here, we're just going to flip ourselves over onto our bottoms. Just keeping your feet together. We're going to burn the triceps one last little time. Fingertips just pointing in towards yourself. Let's start with those elbow bends again, nice and low and up. Now, as you're taking this one here, you might like to lift your hips away from that mat, boosting them up towards the ceiling. Keep sinking down and up, remembering it's about those triceps burning, not the hips just lowering and lifting. If you're like me and they're on fire, you might need to come back down to the mat. Keeping those fingertips pointing in, just for 2. In 1, our hips are going to come back down for all of us. We're going to start to bend back down through your elbows. This time, bring that right knee in for your chest. As you press yourself up, extend that right leg away. We bend in, press out, in and out. So it's all about long, lean legs here. Just here for 3, in 2. That right leg's going to stay out and straight. Elbows are going to stay bent. Right leg lowers to mat, lifts for ceiling. Down and up. Down and up, wriggling away from that bar if it's a little close, just for 2. And then last one, let's sit ourselves all the way up. Shake those arms out, shake the wrists out. We've got our last little side here, so hands coming back to where they were. When you're ready, this time, left leg coming in for chest. Bend those elbows, reach the left leg out. We go in and out. Now your triceps, I'm sure, are on fire, but try and still think about that tummy just pulling in for spine. Long left leg, here for 2. Last one's going to stay long with left leg, elbows stay bent. Let's lower and lift left leg just for 6. And reach. 5. Good. 4. 3. Everything shaking for 2. And then the last one, let's sit ourselves up. Give those arms a little stretch, just right over left. Whew. And then left over right. Okay, we've got one more exercise on the mat here. We're just going to sit ourselves up onto our knees for our hinge. Now, if you like here, you can grab a hold of your weights whether that's weights or something that's of a similar, just 1 kilo for each hand. We don't want anything too heavy. We're just going to take the arms slightly forward of the body here, roll those shoulders down the back. From there, just hinging back from the knees through the hips and the shoulders, then pulling forwards. We go again, nice and long hinge, trust yourself, then come back up. So most important thing here is as you're leaning, don't start to lean from your hips. Keep that whole long line like you've got a pole running through body. Just for 2. Bit of fire in those quads. Last one stays down if we can. So small little hold here. Arms are just going to lift slightly up for the head, back for shoulders. Up for head, down for shoulders for 4. Good. Quads burning as they hold for 3. For 2. And then the last one, reach those arms forward. You can stand yourselves all the way up. We are going to keep a hold of these weights. If you do want to put them down for a second, that's okay. Just remembering throughout this whole workout that 1 kilos are going to start to feel pretty heavy. But we're going to start with your feet nice and wide here, just in what we call our second position. So to find that, just think about your hips opening up, knees opening up, and then ending out at those feet. From here, our plie is just simply a squat or a ballet squat, and then pulling yourself up again. So we plie down, we lift. Perfect. Now, as you're taking that plie, biggest thing here is those knees are going out over that middle toe. So we're not knocking in like so, and we're not rolling too far back. We go for 3, for 2, last one stays down. Let's sink it here. Now, we are going to hold this plie for quite some time, so stay low. If you need to, you can shake the legs out. But our arms are just going to squeeze into each other, away. Again, in and out. Now, as you start to work these arms, they will get a little tired, so weights can drop if they need to. But the next time that you reach your arms nice and long, hold them out. We start to lift above the head and lower. Head and lower. Good for 4. Breathe for 3. For 2. In 1, we've got a little combo. Let's reach those arms forward of chest and out. Lift for ceiling and down. Forward and back. Lift and lower. We've got 2. Good. We've got last one. Keep those arms long if you can, reaching the length of that bar. From here, just small, tiny pulses up and down, up and down. Breathe it out. Whew. Good. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Rest those arms. Bring them down to that nice low ballet first position. If we can from here, our arms are going to start to lift up a little. Draw those heels away from mat. Arms lower, heels lower. Lift and lower. Good. We lift and lower. Here for 5. Good. 4. Like you're hugging that big beach ball for 3. For 2. Last one. Let's lower those heels. Straighten your legs. Give everything a little shake. If you do want to keep a hold of those weights, you can. Otherwise, you can put them down to the floor or just somewhere that they're out of the way. We are now going to move on to our bar. So if you're using a chair, just make sure it's got a little bit of weight to it so it's not going to fall over. If you do have a kitchen bench that it's about hip height, you can use that as well. When you are ready, we're going to start in our plie again. So left arm's going to reach out to the side of the room. We're going to start by taking a nice low plie down through those knees. Perfect. Good. So same as before, watching those knees are working out over toes. When you're ready, we're going to pick this up a little. So it looks like this. We go for plie. Left knee is going to come up and connect to right. Then we go back to plie. So we're down, we're up. Good. Now, if you've got that weight in left hand still, just watching that left shoulder isn't starting to get too close to left ear. Drawing right down the back. We're going to keep this same action going. If you can add a little into the movement, right heel squeezes and lifts. Down and up. That's it. Good. That chair might start to creep away from you. If it does, just recenter it. For 3. For 2. That last one's going to stay up. So your left toe here is going to connect underneath your right knee. Right heel just starts to lower and lift. Now, depending on your balance, you might be able to bring your right arm up with you as well. Keep that hold. Otherwise, hand stays on bar. We're here. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Lower that right heel. Left leg comes back out to our second position. From there, you're going to bend back down through your knees, that plie that we know now. From here, your left heel is going to lift up. We pivot over towards that bar. Good. Again, back to second. Pivot up and over. Back to second. Up and over. So whilst you're finding that plie to lunge, just watching that everything is braced up nice and tall. Left arm is really active. So even if you don't have that weight in the hand, you're feeling lots of length through body. Maybe even getting a little tired through left side. Mine sure is. Good, we go for 2. Next one's going to stay low and we hold it at our bar. Now if you do have that weight or something close to, just pop it down to your chair. We'll come back to that one in a second. But from here, you can take a little bit of a reach of the arms out in front of the shoulders. Stand yourself up, then lunge yourself down. Stand up and down. Good. Perfect. We go for 3 like we are. For 2. Last one stays nice and low. Hands might like to reach for that bar. From here, just watch that your back leg is nicely tucked underneath the hips. Right heel lifts and lowers. Whew, that shaky leg starts to come in. Just watching that you're finding a spot that's good for you. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Good. Pull yourself all the way up. Have a little shake out of those legs. When you are ready, we're going to take a little bit of a fold onto your bar. Now you can do that by just folding your arms, or you can also lean out nice and long, whatever's more comfortable. From there, just placing the forehead down onto the forearms. Right knee is going to bend and your left leg's going to go out behind you. From here, that left leg's going to lift up for ceiling, down for mat. Up for ceiling, down for mat. That's it. Now as you take that lift and lower of left leg, right knee's just staying nicely bent. Feeling that burn all through right hip, down through leg, and getting lots of burn in that left butt cheek. Perfect. We just go for 2. And then we take 1 more. We hold it up. We're going to keep it here. Now through your left knee, start to bend. Draw left heel to left glute, then reach it away. Left heel in and out. We go for 6. Good. 5. All the shakes for 4. 3. Legs are nice and high for 2. That's it. Last one. Reach it away. Stand yourself up. Shaky out the legs. All right. We're going to move our bar over to the other side so that you can follow just a little easier. If you want to pick up those weights once again, you can. And we're going for the other side. So we're going to start back into our second position, or nice plie for the knees. So right arm this time goes really long. We start to bend down and up, just finding that plie on this side. Maybe adjusting the height of where the hand is or how much firmness is on that bar. Perfect. We go for 3. In 2, we're going to start to add that little releve position. So your right toe this time comes up towards left knee, then goes down again. We go up and down. Perfect. Now every time that that big toe connects to your left knee, watch that you're keeping that turn out in right hip. So knees pointing out for wall. We go for 4. In 3, we're going to add that little raise of left heel this time. So as you lift yourself up, scoop left heel, drop left heel. Whew. Perfect. Okay, we go for 3 more. In 2, we're going to find that same position as before. Toe comes to knee, hold it up, zip yourself through, and then lower, left heel down and up, down and up. Good. We might try the balance again, see how we go. Little tiny rises for 3, for 2, and then last one. Let's step back to your second position. We're so nearly there. Let's take your plie position once again, nice and low. This time right heel is going to lift into that pivot. Find the lunge, then go back to plie. So over and back. Good, over and back. Whew. Okay, shoulders staying down that back. We're going to make sure that every time we face that chair or your bar, your hips are completely facing it. So we're not halfway at either position, just going for 2. Perfect. Last one's going to stay over and we find that little hold. You can drop that weight onto the chair if it's more comfortable, and then when you're ready, reach those arms long, start to lunge. Stand your way up, lower your way down. Awesome. Let's just find our last two. Last one stays low. Hands can go back down for that bar. Left heel this time off and on the floor. We love our raises in bar. It does start to get a bit of shaky leg. Awesome work. Nice tall backs. Pulling tummy for spine for 3, for 2, and for 1. Awesome. Let's bring ourselves up. Little shake of legs. We just need to finish off our second side of our reaches. So folding back down through arms, nice and low. Forehead to forearms. This time right leg reaching long. When you're ready, let's lift that leg up for ceiling, down for floor. Perfect. Now remember that your front leg needs to stay nice and bent, supporting that whole body. Getting lots of burning glutes here. Perfect. Let's go for last 3. Last 2. Last one stays high. Let's find those last little rises of the heel, pulling into glute, away from glute. As you bend that knee in and out, just keeping it nice and high, framing that whole body, tight torso, long spine for 2. And then the last one, let's pull ourselves all the way up from that bar. Just take a little stretch out. You can hold onto your bar here, walk those feet to the back of the mat and reach on out. Couple of deep breaths. If you need to, the knees can bend ever so slightly. Feels so good for the back, the arms, the shoulders. All right, let's bring ourselves up. We've got one last little set here. We are going to move the chair just slightly away from the mat so we've got a little bit more room. We can pick up both of those weights again if you would like to. Otherwise, you definitely don't need them. An arm weight is enough. But we're going to go back to our second position. Now from here, arms are going to lift up once again. This time, squeezing up through the entire leg. Lift those heels away from mat onto mat. Now, as you lift those heels up and down, you might start to get the wobbles the higher that you get. Try and switch on right through inner thigh, down through backs of legs, and of course tummy, squeezing in for 3, for 2, for 1. Good, let's lower those heels in. We're going to lower back down into your plie here, so soft knees. Now from there, squeeze back tall. Soft knees, squeeze tall. Perfect. With your arms, let's see if they can come back to that beach ball position, just holding them there. We go for 3, for 2, in 1, we're going to add some extra long limbs. So as we sink down this time, hold it strong. Now boost that left leg out to the side of the mat. Reach the arms long. Find that second position again. So long away. Pull it back. Reach and plie. Perfect. Now as you push away from that left leg, see how much length you can get right through hip, through knee, through ankle. We reach for 2. And then the last one, we're going to come back over and hold it here. So long right arm, long left arm, really long left leg. From here, just start to bend at those elbows, big scoop through arms, then come back to the top. Little scoop under and lift, under and lift. Perfect. Good. Let's go for 2. Let's go for 1. As they lift up again, just pulling yourself back. We're going to repeat that on the second side. So we'll just go back to that initial second position, or that plie, this time going for that left side. So right leg's going to boost away, draw arms out, draw them back in again. Perfect. Reach and squeeze. Awesome. So much rotation in those hips. Again, getting them to face that whole way over towards your bar. Just for 2. Last one stays long and we hold it here. Once again, those arms are going to find that under scoop, over scoop, under and back. Whoop. Test that balance, front leg. Perfect. Okay, for 3, for 2, And then last one, when you are ready, coming out of that position, let's give everything a little shake. We're just going to finish with our roll down. So your feet are going to separate underneath the hips. You can get rid of the weights, just nodding the chin for the chest, rolling down for our toes. Once you've found that deep position, just separating the feet ever so slightly so they're a little wider. And then just taking both of the hands over towards that right foot, hanging heavy. Keeping the hands where they are, let's see if your left knee can just bend on its own, pulling back through right hamstring, then standing back tall again. We go one more, bending nice and low, standing up. Perfect. Walk those hands across to that second side, hands onto left foot, just hanging there for a moment. When you're ready, that right knee can start to bend down and come up. One more, pulling it right away, shoulders away. Good, as you come up to be straight, just walk your hands back into center. We bend our knees just a little, rolling up with wide feet. Amazing, good work guys, well done.